Hello! We will discuss the Tableau method, which is a simpler way to run simplex by hand. The main idea of the Tableau method is that we use a matrix to represent all numerical data in the LP, and we will be using row reduction to perform most of the computations. We will illustrate this with an example. Suppose we have this LP here. We will use z to represent the objective function. We first rearrange the objective function so that there is only the objective value on the right-hand side. So we have z minus this vector times x is equal to 0. We turn this into a tableau, which is a matrix that contains all the information we need from this LP. The first row contains the information from the objective function, and the rest comes from the constraints. The first column represents z, which we will not touch. This is followed by the 5 variables x1 to x5, and the rightmost column is the constant term. Notice that we have lined up the equal sign so that they come between the last variable and the constant term. So the first row represents z minus 3x1 plus 2x2 is equal to 0. More generally, for an arbitrary LP like this, our tableau has this form: 1 minus C transpose and Z bar in the top row, and 0 A, B for the remaining rows. We now go through the steps of one iteration of simplex. The first step is in finding and entering variable. Normally, we are looking for a positive coefficient in the objective row. But since we have moved the coefficients to the left of the equal sign, we are now looking for a negative coefficient in the objective row. We'll call it xk. In our example, we pick x1 to be the entering variable, as its coefficient in the objective row here is minus 3. Next, we're looking for the leaving variable. We are still comparing the ratios between two vectors, the right-hand side b and the column vector for our entering variable, ak. We still calculate the same t and pick the one that has the smallest positive value, and we will pick the leaving variable from there. We call it xl. In our example, our b is 8, 9, and 1, and our a1 is 4, 1, and minus 2. We then pick t from the minimum of these three numbers, which is 2. So x3 is our leaving variable. The next step is updating the tableau. Normally in simplex, once we have picked the entering and leaving variables, we would find the canonical form for our new bases, meaning the columns of the bases will form an identity and their coefficients in the objective row are 0. Now in tableau form, all but one of the columns are already in identity form. So all we need to do is look at the column representing the entering variable and turn it into an identity form. So we look for the entry in the column of xk, the entering variable, and the row of xl, the leaving variable. In our example, it is the entry with 4. We now use row operations to make this entry a 1 and the rest of the column 0. We first divide the second row by 4, and then use this new row to eliminate the other entries of that column. So we will add 3 times row 2 to the first row, add minus 3 times row 2 to the third row, and add 2 times row 2 to the last row. Our new basis is 1, 3, and 5, and these columns do form an identity with zeros in the objective row. So it is still in canonical form. This completes one iteration of the simplex method in Tableau form. We could continue on with the next iteration. In this case, we see that all the objective coefficients are non-negative, so we do have an optimal solution. The optimal value is 6, and the optimal solution here is 20035. We now discuss some of the computational issues involved in the two methods we have for simplex. You can probably tell that the Tableau method is much faster than the method we had done in class. The calculations are just row reductions. They seem simple enough. From the computational point of view though, the Tableau method has some problems. The main one being error propagation. Imagine that you have an LP whose data contains a lot of decimals. For example, one entry could be this one. Now, a computer does not keep track of infinitely many decimal points. So when it performs a division, like multiplying 8/17 in this example, it is possible that it rounds off the number, causing some imprecision. The Tableau method performs each iteration based on the tableau obtained from the previous iteration. In our example, we could perform another calculation and then round off that number again, and so on and so forth. So the imprecision we have at each step will carry over through each iteration. So there is a compounding of errors which may lead to a wrong solution. Now let's consider the method we have from class. It is certainly much slower. The main reason being, computing large inverses is very taxing. The upside to this method is there is no error propagation. The main idea of the method from class is that we are only keeping track of what is the current basis. Each iteration gives a new basis, and we can calculate the new canonical form from the original LP. So any imprecision only lasts one iteration. The errors do not carry over from iteration to iteration. So there are pros and cons to each of the two methods we have for simplex. So how is simplex implemented in real life? In most practical implementations of simplex, they use methods similar to the one from class, but with large improvements on efficiency. So they end up with a fast algorithm that avoids most of the error propagation problem. And the ways that these are implemented are beyond the scope of this course. If you are interested in learning more about some of these computational issues, you can look into CS 370 or CS 371, Introduction to Computational Mathematics.